Hey, you guys, Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides. I hope you are doing well today. I know this is a very challenging time. What I'm really grateful for is to have the opportunity to spend together exploring our spirituality, remembering the bigger picture of what's going on, and just finding some respite from what we are experiencing in 3D, okay? Which is probably one of the most challenging things we've ever experienced for our generation, whoever's watching, at this period of time. So, that being said, we are going to ask my spirit guides questions on soul contracts today, just in general. Okay. We've done several different episodes on Trump's soul contract. And those were very interesting and very enlightening. In fact, it might be helpful for many people to go back and listen to those from time to time if you are finding yourself being challenged in a way that you need perspective. Okay. So those are very helpful. I will post them here and here. So here and there, parts 1 and part 2. So today, though, what we have not done with the SGs is ask them more broad questions about soul contracts. And so people had a lot of questions. We've gathered those questions and they are right in front of me. And I am going to ask my spirit guides once I turn the TV off. There we go. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Karen, and I use these as one of the things I do on the channel to ask my spirit guides for information. We can only ask yes or no questions, but I could tease out things. The more I kind of, you get one layer of yes or no, and you can ask another question. Okay. It just depends on what I know to ask. But we do call outs to the community for specific topics, and we just collect anytime somebody has questions, we collect them on the channel. Okay. In the comments. So if you have questions here, we're going to we have enough questions for 2 parts. This one, I'm going to answer 20 questions, and then I'll do a part 2 that will be up in a couple days. Okay, so watch for that. Then if you have more questions, then we'll go ahead and keep doing this specific topic. Okay, so soul contracts is what we're talking about today. If you are new here, I'm not going to go into too much detail about what's going on here because I do that in some intro videos that I have in the Start Here playlist in the channel. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I will give some basic introduction here. So the first thing I'm going to do is say a little prayer. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel so it's only of the light. Amen. Hey, you guys. I'm talking to my spirit guides. That's their hello. How's it going today? Nice. All right. So the questions in front of me, are you comfortable answering those questions for whoever is going to be listening to this? Yes. Do you think it would be helpful for us to know this information? Yes. Okay. So you're going to notice on the screen we have a yes and a no right here. That's just an overlay that I put on after I'm done recording so that you can, it's easier for you to kind of keep track. For those of you who are just listening, I'm conscious. Sometimes I might forget, but I'm trying to remember to say out loud what the answer is. And the last thing I wanted to mention, because this gets brought up every once in a while, you're going to notice 2 things. You're going to notice that if you see other people using dowsing rods, my spirit guides answer a different way. Okay. Some people's spirit guides will say yes, or yes, they cross over, and no. Mine just don't do that. I think it takes a lot of energy for them to get back here. And some people's will just like whip back there, but it has to do with my energy and their energy and all that. So we have established a different way, which is totally fine. There's no one right way. Okay. Let me just ask them, is there one right way for anyone to get answers from their spirit guides? No. Okay. The other thing you're going to notice is see how they're saying they're waving no here. But you notice how the other one is still moving a little bit? Okay. That looks way more on your end up here than it does for me back here. Okay. And I can feel the energy shifting. I can feel the way they're moving. So sometimes they may not, like, you can say yes now. Okay, so they're saying yes. And I could tell they were, well, obviously I asked them to say yes, but I can tell when they're shifting from yes to no. But look at the no, it still looks like it's moving a little bit, right? I can ask them, from time to time to settle that down. But the thing is if you think about it, there's energy moving, right? And this one is free to move, but they're not moving it, but it's moving with the energy. Okay. So that's why you see that happen sometimes. So you'll just need to know that I know what they're saying. I know what answer they're giving, but most of the time you can tell it. Look at, you can tell that's definitely a yes, right? Even though the other one is moving a little bit. Okay. So it's just, you don't need, I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you're trying to, prove me wrong or something, which is fine if that's where your state of mind wants to be. I wouldn't put my energy into that though. So I wouldn't be doing this if this was not what I felt was accurate information. Okay. And I have been actually listening to some people talk about their spirit guides recently, how spirit guides do not. Okay. So we did a live last week and this one's in my head because it's so front and center, but the person who was just nominated or Hegsworth or whatever, Pete or whatever his name is, someone had asked if he was going to be confirmed and the spirit guide said no last week. Okay, well, he was just confirmed. So over time, and the more I hear from other people who do this and have direct contact, they can hear and stuff. And it was a good reminder. I heard somebody say today, spirit guides don't lie. They just will never lie. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They don't lie. However, they answer in certain ways, one, depending on what the current energy is. So maybe the current energy was at that time that Pete was not going to be, he wasn't going to be confirmed. Okay, I don't know. Or that is what they wanted us to know at that time. So it's really hard to know that. All right. As a spiritual person and an empath, I'm quite gullible this way, but I am the kind of person who you have to tell me, you have to prove to me I can't trust you. I will trust you until you prove to me you can't trust. Okay. So there's other people who are the opposite of that. I won't trust you until you prove to me you're trustworthy. Okay. That is not my personality style and never will be. I'd rather live the other way. Okay. So I am at a point now with regardless whether they're right or wrong. See, of course they're right. This is spirit world we're talking about, right? They are right. So how we interpret or how we use the information is totally up to us. All right. So for me, my full faith and trust is in what they're telling us, that is what we needed to hear at this time. So you have to do what feels good to you. You have to move with this information. And that's why people say it's for entertainment purposes only, because it is. You got to and I always say what do I say? We're entertaining new ideas. Okay? So anyways, that was much longer of an intro that I intended to do. I will not do that long in number 2. I think it's been a couple days since I've done this, so with the rod, so I just felt like I needed to explain, or there's a lot of new people here too, so. Okay, so yeah, so it's just a matter of you placing your trust and where you feel most comfortable, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start asking soul contracts, okay? About soul contracts. All right, and again, these are questions from the community. These are not questions that I had. I will ask additional questions if I feel like there's additional information that might be useful, or I'm just curious, okay? All right, so the first question, is the following understanding of soul contracts correct? Okay, so I am going to read this out loud so you can hear what we're trying to validate here. Okay, in our first incarnation, so can you guys stop swinging, please? It just confused everybody. All right, in our first incarnation, the goal was to have all possible experiences. We create our own contracts and go have those experiences. Okay, so let's just stop there. So, is that correct that in our first incarnation, the goal is to have as many possible experiences? Is that true? Okay, so that part they're saying is not true, that the goal is not to have as many possible experiences. Okay, I see where this question is going. So let's just keep going. So we create our own contracts and go have those experiences. Is that correct? Okay, so we create our own soul contracts before we come to Earth, and then we come down to Earth or over to Earth or wherever and have those experiences. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. We die, then we pass on from this particular life we're having, or let's say our first life, and cross the experiences we had off the list. Is that correct? Okay. So yes, so that part is correct. So yes, when we do pass over, we cross and we're able to cross off the experiences. Okay. Then we rewrite our next contract and include different experiences for that lifetime and so on. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So for some reason, so is most of then that paragraph I just read to you, is most of that correct? Okay. Yeah, it was a great way to explain it, whoever wrote that. That's great. So the thing is, the first part of it was in our first incarnation, the goal was to have all possible experiences. Is that correct? Okay, so in our first incarnation, in each incarnation, we have specific experiences we want to have. Okay, so that was the only part that needed a little clarifying. All right, so it's not all possible experiences, but I get that. Like, go down, explore, and then come back and then get more specific. So it's like, just figure out, go for the first time, see it all, and then figure out how you want to get more specific. So that's the only part that they're disagreeing with. Okay, it's interesting. Okay, number 2, are souls and our higher self the same thing? The answer is yes. Number 3, is it accurate that the higher self and divine team create the soul contract for a particular incarnation? Oh, interesting. Let me just read that again. I got to make sure I understand it. Is it accurate that the higher self and divine team? Okay, so you have your higher self and your divine team, which is your spirit guide. Apparently, 2 spirit guides and a guardian angel, as far as I can. Is that correct? Wait, let me just ask them. So they have told us before that we each have 2 spirit guides. Every human being has 2 spirit guides. Is that correct? Okay, yes. So does each human being then also have a guardian angel? Okay, they start swinging that yes right away. Okay, so we are going to call them our divine teams, basically, in this question. Okay, yes. Okay, so our higher self and our divine teams create the soul contract for a particular incarnation. Yes. Okay, so I think I'm understanding this to mean like if there's a specific purpose, like let's just say MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., that was a very specific soul contract, correct? Come down and do something very particular. Yes. Okay. 45 is a very specific soul contract. Is that correct? Yes, to create disruption, all that kind of stuff. Okay, yes. Hitler was a very specific. Yes. The Pope, very specific. Yes. People like that. Okay, Gandhi, that sort of thing. Okay, so yes. So do all of us have very specific particular incarnations then? No. Okay. So others also then come down for less specific incarnations. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. All right. But we each, even though it's less specific, we each have a focus. Is that correct? Yes. And is each focus, are there any soul contracts that are exactly the same? No. Not even one, not even two? No. Okay. All right, number 4. Is the soul contract similar to a blueprint for the individual life? Yes. However, the person has free will to choose. Oh, that's a good. So however, the person has free will to choose the speed and scope. Yes. So they have free will to choose the speed of how fast they'll work through their blueprint. Yes. And they have free will of how far they'll go in their blueprint. Yes. Okay. All right. If we don't complete, before we pass, do we actually complete that blueprint always? Yes. Sometimes we don't fulfill it. Is there times that we don't fulfill it to the extent that we wished we would have? Yes. Okay. Then do we take part of that blueprint and put it onto the next one, essentially? Yes. Do we always do that? No. Okay. So there may be things in this blueprint that we were just like, we don't need to do, we don't need to go there anymore. Do we do that kind of decision making? Okay, yes. Okay. That's fascinating. Hang on, I'm starting to get warm sitting next to the fire. Fire. Okay. I'd sing more if YouTube wouldn't get me for copyright, so you're lucky. All right. I love that song, though. If you even know which song I'm talking about, let me know if you know what song I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. Number 5. Are souls and spirits the same thing? Oh, we already asked that. I'm way down here. Wait a minute. Is it possible? So, okay. Oh, that's funny. I think I bounced. I went to 5 and then back up to 4 or something. Okay. Number 6. Is it possible for one soul to reincarnate as more than one person at the same time? Yes. And we've talked about that in other episodes. The wide swing. Yes. So there's a higher self, and the higher self can break off into individual souls and have more than one experience at the same time, basically. Yes. Cool. Look how powerful we are, you guys. Okay, number 7. Are doppelgangers, the best word in the whole world, by the way, are doppelgangers a real phenomenon? I actually have a very good doppelganger story. If yes, so the answer is yes. If yes, are they the split of the person's higher self? Seriously? They're saying yes. That is, okay, that's freaky. Because I had a doppelganger. I saw my mom's doppelganger probably like 6 years after she died in a restaurant, just casually sitting like over there. I filmed her and everything. She didn't know it. I was going to go up to her too, but it was freaky. I mean, the way she even moved her body, the way she talked, it was the way it was just unbelievable. Anyways. Okay, so let me just be clear about this. So if yes, so let's just ask about that experience. So the doppelganger that I saw of Betsy, my mom, in the restaurant during COVID. Well, not during COVID, but yes. I think it was like 2021 or something. Are you saying that that person in that restaurant was the soul of that person was also part of the higher self of Betsy? What? Yes. Okay, I'm not sure you understood what I just asked, but they get it. All right. If yes, does this mean that one soul is living two lives? Oh, no. Okay. So they're separate souls. Is that correct? They're separate souls. Oh, I guess I didn't ask. Wait, are souls and higher self the same thing? Oh, okay. That actually was a separate question, you guys. I thought it was on there. Are souls and spirits the same thing? Okay. That's a separate question. Well, here's the thing, you guys. I'm talking to you, and now I'm talking to you. So, souls and our higher self are the same thing, you said. Okay, but when your higher self breaks into two different souls, let's say, and they're having an incarnation at the same time or at different times, those are considered two different souls. Oh, okay. So those are two different souls, even though you have the same higher self? Okay, I don't know. I guess the answer is yes to that, to both of those. All right, so we did ask about the souls and the higher self are the same thing, but are souls and spirits the same thing? Let me just clarify. So they're saying no, but let me just clarify. So are souls on earth and spirits the same thing? No. I don't know how to clarify this. So spirits, so souls and spirits, how are they different? I don't know how to clarify this. Souls and spirits. Huh. So when we consider our spirit guides, correct? We each have spirit guides? Yes. Are those spirit guides just individual souls? Yes. And so is there really anything is there really anything that's like spirit? No. Are all of these words just like the way humans describe everything? Yes. So we don't have these kind of descriptions on the other side? No. Okay. Okay. So you don't have like, how do you guys communicate if you don't have a language? Is your communication through feeling only? Okay, yes. Okay. So there's not like, you don't call each other by name or anything like that. No. Okay. So are all these words, souls, spirits, higher self, and all that, is this just semantics? Yes. Do you find that humans get caught up in the semantics of this rather than focusing on kind of what's really important? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, which is really how you're feeling, how you feel. That's what's really important. That's your intuition. Okay. Which is amazing because that's how they communicate on the other side, is just through feeling, so that makes sense then that would be our intuition as well. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry I can't really get to the bottom of that. Are souls and spirits the same thing? So let me ask again. Are souls and spirits the same thing? So they're saying no, and for some reason I can't get my head wrapped around that. So if you guys have clarifying questions, we can certainly ask. All right, number 6, and maybe I've already gotten to the root of it. I'm not sure. You'll have to tell me. A lot of times when I'm deep in the reading of the questions and thinking about things to ask them or feeling about things to ask them, I can't even remember what I asked. So that's just kind of how my intuition works. So, okay, number 6. Is it possible for one soul? Okay, we asked that one. Okay, doppelganger. Okay. All right. See what I mean? Like I get a little. That's okay though. I'm okay with that. I know it can get confusing for some people who are watching because this is it just is an intuitive process. That's just the way it is. So, okay, number 8. Is it possible for a soul contract to include becoming a ghost? Good question. Yes. What? Okay. Okay, well now I got a gazillion questions about that. So we're going to do a separate section on ghosts, you guys. I think in our next live, which is coming up this week. So, okay, we're going to do a different one on ghosts. And then if you have follow-up questions, like if you don't hit the live and you have follow-up questions, then we'll do another one. Okay. So we'll just wait on that. So I guess it is possible to add in a soul contract that you become a ghost. Yes. Okay. All right. I hope it's not my soul contract. Is it in my soul contract to become a ghost after when I pass? No? Okay, good. Now you all want to know, right? Oh, gosh. Okay. Not that it's a bad thing. We'll find out about ghosts more this week. All right, number 9. Is it part of the parent's soul contract when their child commits suicide? Yes. And so before the parent's higher self and the child and everybody has gotten together prior, correct? And they have planned on having this experience together. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. And they are well aware of how horrific the experience is going to be as them as human beings. Is that correct? Yes. Is that for them? Are they excited about having this experience before they come down to earth? Yes. I'm only asking these things because these are things I've heard. Other, like, people have NDEs or people who have spiritual people who can hear. So that's why I know to ask some of this stuff. So they're quite excited as souls because they know that how much it's going to expand, how much they're going to evolve spiritually. Okay. So yes. So I know that totally sucks, but here's the thing, is your soul is like, yes, because you get to have an experience that is going to basically, can you consider it, I'm asking the SGs, can you consider it an experience that will bring you closer to God, basically? Yes. Okay. Okay, well, the follow-up was, if no, is it solely the child's soul contract? So let's just ask that, okay? So when a child commits suicide, is it solely in the child's soul contract? No. Is it in, okay, so is it in the sibling soul contract if they have a sibling? Yes. Is it in the friend soul contract to be friends with someone who might commit suicide? Okay, it's a little bit slower energy, so they kind of stopped there. So does it go beyond? Does the soul contract experience of somebody who commits suicide, is that go beyond the immediate nuclear family? Okay, so no. So that's why they didn't answer that. Okay, so it's really within the nuclear family. Okay, so yes. Okay. And all the souls within that nuclear family have decided that this is an experience they want to have? Yes. Okay. Big love to anybody who's had that experience. It's still, when you cross over, you'll be very, very glad about it. But I mean, yeah, no, that's still, still big hugs and big love to you. Sending lots and lots of big love to you. Okay, number 10. Does someone's disability get decided in their soul contract? Yes. Okay. Does any kind of disability we might have get decided in a soul contract? Whoops, my hand kind of jerked. Can we ask that again? My hand just kind of went like that. And sometimes they actually do that, but I don't know for sure. So I just want to ask again. So any disability that we have, learning disability, physical disability, a mental disability, anything like that, all of them, literally we have like 5 of them. Are they all decided in the soul contract? Yes. Are there any disabilities that we might obtain on Earth due to unknown circumstances? Okay, they're already saying no. That's not in the soul contract? No. Okay. All right. And so any disability, chronic pain, life without chronic pain. I mean, we can go positive here too. All of that is determined. Is that correct? Okay. Yes. And so, okay. All right. Number 11. I gotta get my fingers are getting a little crampy. Number 11. Do people who choose evil in their soul contracts understand how much harm they may cause? Oh. I did not expect that. I did not expect a no. Wow. I expect them to say yes. If no, did their free will and human ego take it further than they anticipated? Yes. Okay. I did not, again, most of the time I kind of am aware just because of my spiritual journey and how much I've heard people talk about, but I didn't expect that one. I expected them to say, yeah, they're aware they're doing it to help humanity or something. Okay. When there's someone who says, like, let's just say 45 has agreed to be a disruptor, right? That's his role, is to be a disruptor, is what they've told us. Okay, yes. So the level of disruption, though, the cruelty, the non-compassionate, unfeeling, narcissistic, all that, was that to that degree planned in his soul contract? No. Okay. And so was his free will then and his ego? Yes. Okay. All right. Interesting. Number 12. Are some soul contracts made? I don't really like using this word, but I'm going to use something different. Are some soul contracts made with lower energy influence rather than God's? No. Okay. The only reason I don't like using that, is there a specific entity that's called the devil? No. Okay. So there's God, correct? There's one source, one force, basically. I think Sterling calls it that. Yes. But so there's not the opposite of that? There's not one source, one force or whatever. One source that's the opposite of God in heaven? No. Is that why we come to have these experiences? Because we are just all love? Yes. Okay. So even the most heinous of human beings, that once they get to earth, the most heinous things that they do, they will pass through the veil, or when they pass over, they are in a complete state of love. Their higher self is in love, correct? They're like their permanency is in love, right? Yes. Okay. So they don't live in a permanent state of fear or hate or anything like that, or flames or anything like that. No. Was that written into the Bible by human beings? Yes. Was that for control, fear, and power? Yes, unfortunately. Okay, did it work? It worked for me as a kid. Did it work for you guys? For those who learned it? Yeah. Yeah, it's real nice, isn't it? Okay, let's see. 13. Are natural disasters that you're in a part of, is that part of your soul contract? Yes. Okay. Let's see. 14. Is the Earth's dimension considered a purgatory place? See, I could tell they started swinging yes, and then I could tell they were going to start shifting. So, okay, let me clarify. Just because the energy got a little strange. All right. So I think what I'm hearing, let me just read the full question. Is the Earth's dimension considered a purgatory place where we work out issues in our soul to evolve into beings of unconditional love before graduating into heaven? Okay. Excuse me. All right. So, I'm talking to the SGs, would you consider Earth to be hell, basically what we consider to be hell? No. Okay, well, we do. Many of us do. We do. What do you think about that? They're like, yes, yes, you do. Well, it's hard. Can we whine a little bit? It's hard. Oh gosh. I mean, okay, cut, clear, cancel. I'm going to start doing cut, clear, cancel. Because here's the thing, if we keep saying that, it's hard. It's like hell. Cut, clear, cancel. That's just attracting that to you, right? I got to start remembering the cut, clear, cancel. I just talked about it in coffee with Karen this morning. That's why. Okay, so I'm not going to lean on that too long. We got to cut that energy. All right, let's see. Purgatory. Okay, so did I answer that whole thing? In the Earth's dimension, okay, so is the Earth dimensions considered a purgatory place where we work out issues? Okay, so no. But are we coming here to work out issues in our soul to evolve? Okay, so yes to that part. Okay, so we're coming here to work out issues for our souls to, are we trying to work it out as if it's like something wrong? No. Okay. So we're just excited to come and have new experiences and evolve. Because the more experiences, just like on Earth, the more experiences you have, right? The more wisdom you gain, right? Yes. Okay. So is it the same kind of concept? The more experiences we have over lifetime, 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 our soul has more wisdom, correct? Yes. And then does it make our souls more capable of maybe being spirit guides or guardian angels or ascended masters? Yes. Okay. Same thing. It's like the just building on wisdom, right? Okay. So then we all then at some point, do we all graduate with unconditional love? Yes. And go to heaven, basically? Yes. Do we all graduate? Every single lifetime is considered a graduation at the end? Yes. Okay. So do we always leave Earth feeling a level of success? Wide swing, yes. Okay. Wide swing, yes. Good. So whatever you're doing right now, you're not feeling. Just put it that way. I'll ask it. So are there any of us who are listening here, would any of our lives be considered a failure in heaven? No. Okay. Anyone that's not listening here, would their lives be considered a failure in heaven? No. Okay. That's good to know. It's good to know. If I just sat on the couch for the rest of my days, would that be considered a failure in heaven? No. Would that add to maybe my next soul contract though? No. All right. Because if I just laid on the couch, would that be in my soul contract to do that? Wow. Okay. Because if I was motivated to lay on the couch, then that would be a part of my soul contract. Is that correct? Yes. Is it humans that just put all this like goals and striving and all that kind of stuff all over ourselves? Do we should all over ourselves? Yes, we do. We talked about that in coffee with Karen once. Shooting all over ourselves. Oh, we gotta stop shooting all over ourselves. It's not an original. I thought it was an original idea when I said it, but it's not, but it's hilarious. Just like, by the way, I got to remember this. I told my husband about it, and then I forgot during Coffee with Karen because somebody, thank you, whoever commented, said that she laughs every morning because, I always say bedheads. If you listen to Coffee with Karen in the morning, I'll say, good morning, bedheads, because I've got a bedhead and, I just get up and film is what I do. And so people join me for that. Not live, but it's recorded. And anyway, so somebody thinks every time I say it, it sounds like I'm saying buttheads. And because I like potty humor, it makes me laugh all the time, just like it did. I can't help it. Yes, so good morning, buttheads. I'm going to have to say that sometime. That would be very funny. I need a butthead mug for sure. Oh my gosh, so funny. All right, let's see. Number 15. Are our soul contracts negotiable? What? Really? No? What do you mean? Let me just clarify. Are our soul contracts negotiable as humans? Because I think that's why they're saying no. So, no. Is our soul contract negotiable before we come down in our inhuman form? Oh, they're still saying they were swinging yes, and I thought, well, maybe they'll say yes, but no. Okay. So, really non negotiable. But I thought we had a part in planning it. Don't we have a part? Doesn't our higher self have a part in planning the soul contract? Yes. So if we have a part in planning it, then wouldn't it be negotiable? No. So there's certain things, are there just certain aspects of a soul contract that are non-negotiable? Yes. And then the planning has to do with like who we're going to do it with, like who our family members are going to be and all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. So yes. So the specifics of what we want to gain is non-negotiable. Is that correct? Yes. But who we do that with and what other souls we're going to mix with to make sure that that gets accomplished, that is what we do in the planning process. Yes, and because those other souls have to agree to that, is that correct? Or higher selves? Yes. Fascinating. Okay. All right. Number 16. Does free will exist? Yes. Does free will exist only on Earth? No. Free will exists all over, like in any existence that we're having? Yes. If yes, is our free will minor, like deciding what to eat or where? No. Okay. So the free will is a big deal. Good questions. These are great. I am learning so much, you guys. Yes, this is why I facilitate this because I'm learning as much as I'm learning so much. Probably more than anybody because I mean, how many people catch every single video I do? Probably not too many. Okay. All right. The question is how much do I retain it? Let's see. Number 17. Can we choose to skip something negative or learn a particular lesson in a less harsh way? Oh, yes, we can. So let me break that down. Can we choose to skip a negative experience to that's in our soul contract? We can. So we can choose free will wise. Is that what you're saying? Yes. So that makes me feel like you guys, the soul contract is not like you will experience being in a tornado. Is that correct? Or does it specifically like does my like a soul contract say you will experience a tornado? No. Oh, okay. So we got to get down to the bottom of that. But it does say that you will experience a child committing suicide? No. Oh. Okay. See, this is where this is where the fun comes in. You got it. It's the questions. It's just how, we'll get down to the bottom of this. We'll get down to the bottom at some point. So it's more, I don't even know if we know, do humans even know how to describe what would be in the soul contract? No. Okay. Because the language is different. Like it's the feeling versus oh, interesting. Interesting. Are we just wasting our time trying to figure all this out? No. Okay, just making sure. Is this healthy for us to do because it kind of helps put things in perspective on Earth? Yes. Okay. Because it helps me. That's why I'm asking that question. All right, we're going to have to get down to the bottom of that, but I'm getting tired now, so I'm not sure what kind of questions I can ask about that. So let me know if you have other questions. Number 18. Can we satisfy items in, I love that, satisfy. Can we check off items on our soul contract in a vision or a dream? Oh, wow. Yes. And now, why would you think to even ask that? That's amazing. Okay. We have to get down to what is the core of the soul contract then? I have to spend some time thinking about it myself. So I'm sure we're going to get lots of ideas. So let's share. Okay. All right. Number 19. Can a soul plan a malevolent soul contract due to their own desire to live out the vices such as greed, hatred, and such? Oh, yes. Okay, so that's maybe what it is. It's like the soul contract is like, you are going to experience grief. Is that what we do? Oh, so I'm going to experience grief 5 times in this lifetime. Is it that specific? Oh, okay. I should stop doing that. You guys probably like, I'm just like, oh, all right. So it's more, and so do we also decide like a degree of grief, let's just say? Okay. All right. So yes. So we don't necessarily say someone's going to commit suicide in my life experience. No. But in order to experience that level of grief that we are wanting to experience for some reason, to evolve, we know that that's necessary. Is that correct? Yes. And it may not be, everybody's going to experience that. Even, I know that sounds weird, but not everybody experiences a child's suicide the same. They're just not. So it completely depends. I know that sounds bizarre to say that, but but if you think it should, then that's more judgmental, right? So, yeah, interesting. Okay. So basically, we then say, well, I want to experience what it's like. Okay, so this is my understanding. Let's just say that I was a bully in the last lifetime. Okay, so let's just say that was in my soul contract to experience being the bully. Okay, then in my next lifetime, I would say, now I want to experience being bullied. Is that correct? Yes, they're not really swinging that heavy on that. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of spot on. Just based on what I've heard, but they're not like giving me a whole lot on that. Um, okay. And then our free will then decides how much of a bully we'll become. Yes. And is that like part of the is that part of our learning too? Like our evolution? Like, yes. So once we cross over and we look at, wow, I was really a bully. Is that part of our like understanding of like maybe our soul is not as strong, like it needs to be kind of strengthened? Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Hopefully I kind of get that. Hopefully you guys do too. All right. Last question. And then my sister has a little chuckle at the end for us. I love when she leaves a little chuckle for us. Number 20, was it in 45 soul contract? So I'm talking about Donald. Was it in his soul contract to be president for the past 4 years from like 2020 to 2024? No. Okay, so the part of the question was, is if yes, is that why we are having this experience now? So were we always destined to have this experience with Donald as the president right now? Oh, we were not. Okay. So was it in, I know we did a whole session on, we did 2 parts, you guys, on 45's soul contract, but I don't think we answered these specifically like this. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. It's always good to hear it again. Was he always meant to be, was it in his soul contract to be the president of the United States in 2016? Yes. Was it in his soul contract to be the president in 2020? No. Was it in his soul contract to be the president in 2024? No. Okay. So we are on a timeline that was unexpected. Is that what you're saying? Yes. And is that because of free will? Yes. Was that collective free will? No. Okay. So basically, is it boiled down to greed and corruption? Yes. Will this timeline be corrected? Yes. Will it be corrected sooner than later? Oh, please let it be. Yes. Is that up to free will, though? Is that up to us? Yes. Okay. Is it, so one of the things I did today, talking to you guys, whoever's listening to this, is I've been talking the last couple of days about doing intentions for the US government. And then we can do intentions for the world too, like world politicians, because we're always talking about the stuff we don't like. We're always talking about what we don't want to see. And that is energy. That is law of attraction. We get now everything we've been talking about, everything we don't want to see. And that's not to blame us, but we sent out a hell of a lot of negative energy towards Trump, and he got it. And did that play a role in him being elected? Yes. So, boo-hoo. Was this in the collective, though, for us to learn how powerful we are with energy? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm learning it. It was a big wake-up call. And so the intentions, the video I did today, I'm asking the SGs now, writing like fresh in my own intentions for the US government that were in a positive, stating in positive, and then praying, are those effective? Yes. Okay. So would it be helpful for as many people to do that as well? Okay, they're going slightly on that. Is it because it's just what's important is that we do stay positive, like this, we're watching the energy we send out, basically. Yes. And so if it helps people to send out the correct, the positive energy, the energy and the light, then it's useful. Is that correct? So yes, so it just depends on what's useful for you. That was useful for me to keep that front and center. So that every time I'm complaining or bitching about something about the government, I can think back to those intentions, right? So is Archangel, I think it's, somebody had mentioned Archangel, I can't pronounce it right now. Raquel. I'm not pronouncing it correctly. The angel, okay, so there's an Archangel of Justice, is that correct? Yes. Let me grab my book real quick. I just can't, my brain is very tired all of a sudden. This takes a lot of energy. Let's see. So I have it in my intentions because somebody had mentioned it on the channel and I saw this comment out of so many comments. And I thought that's awesome because, yeah, Raquel. I'm not sure if I'm saying, I'll have to do a pronunciation afterwards. You don't need to put it in the comments. I'll go ahead and do, but it's Raquel. Okay. So here, if you missed my video, this is how I did it. And I literally did all but these first 3 with you on camera. So I just kind of had you off to the side actually. And I just kind of talked through what cards I was pulling and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, I post the 2 Trump ones here and I'll post that one here. Okay. The intentions one that I just did today. So, Okay, I just wanted to ask them one last question. So in the middle, okay, so in the middle of my intentions then, I did put a little prayer right here. All right, so it says, Dear Archangel Raquel, it doesn't matter if I know how to pronounce it. They knew what I'm talking about. Please support and make happen all of these intentions, okay? And then I put Archangel of Justice, because this is sort of a, our governments work with so many people and all of our energy that we need to start expecting them to do better, do better with our energy, right? And so the Archangel of Justice, whoever commented, I was definitely meant to see that. And I'm very, very happy about it. So let me just double check though. Does it help? Well, first of all, okay, so everybody can do this however they want to. Okay, so as long as you can hold the light, then you don't need to do specific intentions, right? Like I did. So it's a little challenging for me, so I need to do that. I might have to do it again with a different, a different set of paper. The next time I'm feeling grumpy, I'm just going to pull out another page and do more intentions for the U.S. government. Maybe that's how I'm going to deal with this time period. So if we pray to Archangel Raquel, I don't know why I can't say that. Raquel. Go ahead, laugh. I'm laughing at myself. Maybe I'm saying it right. Who knows? I could do the pronunciation right now and we could all find out. All right, fine. Hang on. Okay, are you ready? I was a little off.
As Raquel or Raquel.
Oh.
Now, in English, this is generally pronounced as Raquel.
Raquel.
Pretty straightforward once you know both British and American pronunciations.
Okay. Raquel. Raquel, actually, he did say Raquel, is just another form of pronunciation. Phew! Woo! Okay. So now that I've got that down, is it appropriate for us to pray to Archangel Raquel? No, I still can't say it. Raquel. Is it appropriate for us to pray to Archangel Raquel? This is like a bleepers or the. Okay, I'm not going to say it again. They know who I'm talking about. Is it appropriate for us to pray to this archangel for support in making these intentions for justice? Okay. Is this archangel now helping us? Okay. With yes, and yes. Is the more we pray to this archangel, Raquel, is the more we pray, the more help that this archangel can give us? Yes, because we do have to ask for help, correct? Yes. Would it be helpful if I went through each of these intentions and asked specifically for Raquel to help with those intentions, with each one individually? Yes. Okay, very good to know. I will do that then. Okay, so very specific, you guys. All right, we got this. We can do this. Let's do it. Okay, thank you guys. I know some of you don't mind my quirks, and I'm okay. I mean, it is what it is. We're all a little quirky, aren't we? So, all right, I hope this was helpful. There is a part 2 where we have more questions. So definitely ask your questions from this one. There's a chance they will be answered. That's already part 2 that's laid out. And in fact, maybe tomorrow night specifically, I will do part 2 just to have them back to back. Okay, very good. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.